If you clicked on this video, it's probably because you're a small business and you are trying to do some type of influencer outreach for your website or maybe your offline store to generate more sales. So I'm really excited to talk about this topic today because we spent 3 months doing pretty aggressive influencer outreach, and I'm really excited to share back some of the results and just some of the things that you need to be wary of when you are either paying influencers or trying to set up collabs with influencers in this space. So we're gonna be covering all that and some more in this video. What's up guys, my name is Hannah Gardner, and if you are new to the channel, I talk about mostly e-commerce and building a business online, and also some entrepreneur stuff as well. So if that is what you're into, make sure you do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. All right, so as I mentioned in the intro, you are probably a small business and you are looking to, if you haven't already, get into influencer marketing for your online store, or just learn more about it, or maybe if it's even worth your time. So as I mentioned before, I spent a couple of months doing pretty aggressive outreach with my team, and what we're gonna talk about is some of the things that I experienced along the way. So the first thing that I experienced is a conversation like this. Hi influencer, I really love your content. I think you are an awesome fit for our brand and I would love to do some type of collab with you. So I just was curious to know like what you had in mind. Oh yes, awesome. I think your products are super cool and I would love to work with you as well. So are you interested in seeing some of my rates or some of my media packages and some of the things that I do as, the influencer? Oh, awesome. Yeah, that would be great. I am a small business. I'm really new at this, so I don't really know how all this works. But yeah, I would love to see your media package. Okay, great. Yeah, here it is. Oh, wow. This is really nice. It's really a really nice PDF. But yeah, I see that you charge $13,000 for an Instagram shout out on a story and a post. Is that right? Like $13,000? Oh yeah, I do have 350,000 followers. And as you can see in the media package, it is a, 65% women and 45% men. So it is hyper targeted, for your category. So, I also do work really hard making Instagram videos and content. And, I do have, over 200,000 followers. So I'm gonna cut this little narrative right here and try to give you some insight on some of the things that we experienced many, many times. We probably reached out to about 500 influencers ranging from what we were getting back is these media packages, and they were charging absurd amounts for their services. Now, I'm not saying that it couldn't be worth it, but before we continue this little narrative, there's some things that you need to ask before you fundamentally screw yourself over or get screwed over by these influencers that, put together these really pretty PDFs and call them media packages and charge you $10,000 for a post. I would follow up with, yes, I understand you have over 200,000 subscribers or followers, and I do understand that you have a good demographic that are, women, which it is what I'm looking for. And I do see that your engagement is decent, but I really need to make sure that you're going to produce, real results for me. And I would imagine because you're charging, such high rates that you would have some type of case study or some type of testimonials or, just real-time results of some of the money that you generated for, your past clients and customers. But I mean, you have, you're charging $13,000. I'm sure you can provide that for me. I'm not seeing it in the media package, but do you have some type of case study or something that I can confirm that, this would actually work and actually generate me more sales? Oh yes, as I mentioned before, I do have over 200,000, followers on Instagram, and I do have, 65% women, that follow me. So yeah, it is $13,000. And oh yeah, here's all the companies that I've worked for, companies like Macy's and, all these other big brands. So again, I do have over 200,000, followers. Okay, yes, that's awesome. But again, I'm a small business and it's gonna actually really hurt me if I spend $13,000 and actually don't see a return. So again, I would imagine that if you are charging $13,000 for a shout out, you could supply us with some type of evidence or proof that, your following actually, converts and turns into sales.
Hey guys, so I was just rewatching the footage and I just wanted to input right here a little explanation of why this is happening, as well as just a further explanation. The example that I just gave was a really extreme example. I think the girl had like 300,000 followers and yeah, she was trying to charge like $13,000. We also reached out to people that were smaller, so people, micro influencers, where they weren't charging $13,000, but it was still like, $600, $700, which was, when you're a small business, it's a lot of money. And so as you're going to see later in the video, I'm going to explain, really the difference between a content creator and an influencer, that's between someone that can actually make you money and someone who's going to make you content. So I'll explain that a little bit later in the video, but the reason why that this is happening is because it's not that these people are lying or that they're not getting paid these rates, because they are. It's just you as a small business are competing against, the Walmarts of the world, where they have allocated budgets and mass marketing budgets where they have $10,000 to throw in the garbage and not see a return, because the winning for them is just getting the content. So you just as the small business, I'm just showing you how to really ask the right questions and delegate your budget wisely, so you're not just blindly spending money expecting one thing but getting a totally different thing. So we'll continue the video and I'll explain more of this very shortly.
I would say in our experience, most of these influencers aren't able to provide their real results, which is really, really key. And I would say that if you're doing a lot of influencer outreach and you're seeing that they're sending back all these crazy numbers for these shout outs, you really need to see this type of evidence before you just take your money and throw in the garbage. There's really a key difference between a content creator and an influencer. And unfortunately, whoever is teaching influencers this media package trick, it doesn't really make them an influencer. An influencer is somebody that can influence a decision that the end person makes. And unfortunately, just because they have a lot of following and maybe some good engagement and maybe even the demographic of, age and, gender that you need, that doesn't necessarily, one, mean that it's real, or two, that it's actually going to convert, where they actually have the type of influence that, or the loyalty from their followers that actually converts into sales. And when someone can't show that to you, that's a really, really big red flag that they probably aren't going to generate you sales. Because I would imagine as an influencer, if I was charging $13,000 for my services, I would just assume that the company would want to see real-time results for, these clients that I've had. And if they can't provide that, that's a super, super big red flag. And if that's the case, you need to put them in the category of a content creator, not an influencer. So if you do go ahead and spend the money, you need to know going into the collab that you're probably not gonna get a return on your money. But if the end goal is just to get the content, because they're going to make you some type of content, which is valuable to your business, then you just need to know that that's what you're actually going to get. You're not going to get all these sales. Again, it's very different per niche, like depending on what your product is and what you're selling. So I'm not saying that it will never work or it would never work, but I would just be very weary about spending a lot of money up front without any significant data that says, hey, this is going to work. So some of the things that we've actually found in the past that worked for us was reaching out to our past customers that we already have. And surprisingly, we already had a lot of past customers that had a micro influencer. Honestly, we're even bigger influencers. And people that have already bought from you and know and love your brand and already have loyalty to you are going to be the best people that are going to become ambassadors or influencers or affiliates for your store. Now, if you're somebody that's not currently making sales, I would say if you're currently not making sales and your budget is low, I would say still go ahead and try to do some outreach, but really try to avoid making payments unless they show you data. Other than that, just make your end goal getting the content and doing a collab where it's just product for content. Because having that content is super valuable in using it for social media, social proof, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, putting it on TikTok. So not to say that it's not valuable, it is valuable. You just wanna make sure that you're delegating your budget, smart. So you're not just depleting all of this money on influencers that you really didn't know what you're getting yourself into when you started. There's also a platform that you can use called Growth Hero, which is an affiliate marketing tool that integrates with your Shopify store. And essentially you can offer payout to these influencers, but on a commission basis. So you may not pay them upfront, but maybe you give them 20% of every sale that they generate for you. So if an influencer comes to you and says, it's $20,000 for a post, say, hey, I don't really have the funds to do that. But if you are very confident in your ability to sell and promote my items, I would love to give you commission based off the sales that you generate for my store. So I can offer you a super high commission at, say, 30% of all the sales that you generate for me. And what Growth Hero does is it will allow them to make their own account, set up their own affiliate link or custom link, so then when someone goes to your store from their custom link, it will track all the sales, all the add to cart, all the customer data of the people that bought specifically through them. And that will really save you a lot of money. And also it will show you a lot of data on what's working and what's not working. Even if you do a collab with somebody where you're just offering them free product, I would also recommend them using an affiliate link just so you can track all the clicks, all the add to carts, all the necessary data that you need to make more choices on the types of influencers that you're doing a lot of outreach for. So that was my quick video and tip on some of the experiences that I had when I was running, a lot of influencer marketing, outreach campaigns and working with my team. And for us, because we are in fast fashion, we did see it was very difficult for us to really find profitable people to work with. We did end up finding a few, but overall, again, depending on what you're selling and also just how loyal people are to these people, you are gonna see different results. So again, just be very wary about spending money up front and try different strategies and different ways of getting people involved in your company as ambassadors via affiliate links, as well as just not giving away too much without significant evidence that it will work. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comment down below. Give it a thumbs up. And again, subscribe to the channel if you think you're gonna get any value out of any future videos. And thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.